Good evening, my darling batlings. Let's make sure my
Hello.
mic is actually working this time and Discord didn't swap it out unexpectedly. Yes, it is indeed working.
I can tell you it's working because I accidentally opened the app.
Ah,
And I heard you say words.
good. Anyways, this has been long delayed and one time attempted and had to abandon it early because I got sick. But we're doing some Shadow Generations mods tonight, which involves playing through the game from the beginning with some mods enabled. Shenanigans are bound to ensue.
I like shenanigans.
And I'll check out level mods after we beat the main story, because using level mods on a fresh playthrough can break your progression and make it so you can't progress.
Yes, we do not want that.
And also because some level mods need to be updated still, or else they'll crash the game. And that's all on, the level mod creator to update it. But anyways, without further Mountain Dew... There we go, perfect timing on that.
I'm getting better.
Now let's see if I get jump scared by the incredibly loud Sega startup sound. No, I did not for once.
Honestly, that was kind of underwhelming.
I've also got the volume turned down.
That's fair.
Like, they made it quieter in recent years, but for the longest time, it was super loud. Just like how, the Bethesda opening sound on a lot of their games was super loud for no reason, and then the game itself was, quiet. So here's an example of what we got enabled. Kakarot!
Oh, dead! God.
Say goodbye to your planet, Kakarot!
Y'all can blame me for this. He asked me questions before, I answered.
Okay, so some of these cutscenes are pre-rendered, so it won't appear in cutscenes, but it's gonna probably look glorious.
Buttons, pushing buttons.
Can we wake him up now? Can I meet him?
God, Stephanie Shea was perfect casting as Maria. She's really good at playing these really, adorable, innocent characters.
Shadow, the Hedgehog.
Yup. I really hope to meet her at a convention again someday. I met her years ago at one of the first conventions I ever went to, but...
I hope to meet her too, because she's voiced a lot of characters that I have not so small crushes on.
Well, I need to meet her because she's the voice of Sailor Moon, and I need her to complete my box set.
Yeah. She also voiced Hinata in Naruto. That was her big breakthrough role.
I already have her autograph.
If I were to, you already know about my plan to get revenge on Bryce Pappenbrook, right?
Of course.
I could also get her autograph because I could also get her autograph on that because she voiced Chiharu in Aiken, which is the main girl.
There's also Orihime in Bleach, which is what I have her autograph for.
Yep. There he is! Kakarot!
You guys can blame me for this. This was 100% Furret's fault. I didn't know the context. He asked me questions. I answered.
I just listed a bunch of mod names to him without telling him who they applied to. And he chose
You can blame me
Vegeta.
for this, guys. You blame me.
I like that they
I do
changed the
this.
color of the boost aura to make it look more Dragon Ball Z-ish.
That is kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. This is actually a pretty damn good mod.
Yeah. I'm trying to recognize where this mod came from. I think this model came from Dragon Ball Fusions, the 3DS game.
Could be.
Because everyone was
I don't
chibi
play
in
a lot of
that
Dragon
game.
Ball games, so.
I haven't played Fusions, but I know a lot of people say it's one of the best Dragon Ball games ever. Oh, I noticed they changed the sound effect for boosting too. To, you know, the aura charging sound effect from Dragon Ball Z. That's a nice attention to detail. Speaking of attentions to detail, time for another one of the mods.
Oh my god.
That is Snapcube Shadow. It's part of a greater mod called Snapcube References.
Anyway, I was gonna say, with all the Dragon Ball stuff, I'd have to take your word for it. Because I'm not like the biggest Dragon Ball fan in the world.
Like, Dragon Ball has a very recognizable set of sound effects, which is how I'm able to pick up on them.
Yeah, the original Dragon Ball, yeah, I love that show, but like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, all of that. I've played all of like 2 Dragon Ball games in my life too. The one that you've played, the one you got, the one that you accidentally forced me to buy.
Kakarot.
Yes, Kakarot. And then the original like Game Boy Advance one that they had a long time ago.
Legacy of Goku?
Yes.
Look at him, he's so angry. As Vegeta should be.
Should be Vegeta so angry. He needs sandwich and Bulma boobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think Vegeta's a boob man or an ass man? Because Bulma's got both.
I think the answer to that is that he's a Bulma man.
I mean, if the movie Battle of Gods is anything to go by, he's like really into Bulma. Given that, like, you haven't seen Battle of Gods, have you?
I have not seen anything truly related to Dragon Ball Z in years.
Okay, Battle of Gods, like, the main antagonist of that movie is the god of destruction, Beerus, who, Vegeta is just petrified of. Because he knows that Beerus can just destroy the entire planet.
Is that the cat thing?
He's the cat thing, yes.
Okay. The only reason I know that is because he's a Fortnite skin.
Like, the moment that, Beerus attacks Bulma in retaliation for her slapping him, he freaks the fuck out and goes, like, not just Super Saiyan, but briefly gets stronger than Goku was at that moment, just to deck, Beerus for, out of, you know, wanting to protect Bulma. And he screams out, "That's my Bulma!" It's like genuinely one of the best Vegeta moments, even though he predictably gets his ass kicked immediately.
We meet again, Gadget. I mean Shadow.
The funny thing is, everyone for the longest time made jokes about, like, oh, it's Dr. Claw voicing the villain from Shadow the Hedgehog when Shadow the Hedgehog originally came out. But no, that's actually Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku.
Yep. Which is oddly fitting right now.
Yeah. But in this game, it is Robbie Daymond. Not Robbie Daymond, fuck, who is that? I forgot. Ben Diskin.
Right, it's Ben Diskin. Robbie Daymond's someone else.
Robbie Daymond is in this game as, he's someone else in this game. Oh yeah, he voices Mephiles the Dark from Sonic 06 in this game. Because,
Yes.
they didn't bring back Dan Green because he's retired. Oh, they changed the teleport sound to the one from Dragon Ball Z too. There's a lot of attention to detail in this mod that I really like.
Nice.
Sadly, there's none that change Black Doom's appearance. Or at least not yet.
I mean, to be honest, there's really not much you could change him to. An octopus, Starro.
Yeah, you can make him
Pretty much all I
Starro.
got. I was gonna say, that's pretty much all I got.
You can make him one of the Wisps from Sonic Colors. Oh yeah, I have a mod that does it like Shadow the Hedgehog's solo game where all the menu sound effects are gunshots. I
Nice.
forgot about that.
Oh, an emerald.
See, this is a callback to Sonic Adventure 2. It's a fake Chaos Emerald that Tails made to prevent the Eclipse Cannon from firing.
Between the two of them.
Yup.
And this is the first time that fake Chaos Emerald has been mentioned since that game.
Oh, funny thing. Within the next couple weeks, Sonic 3 will be available for streaming.
Nice.
Paramount Plus will have it for free, and everywhere else you'll have to buy it, of course.
Right.
At least until Amazon gets over their whole weird thing with the Sonic movies.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't gotten a chance to see the glorious Disney-beating movie that is Sonic 3, you'll have your chance soon if you have Paramount Plus. That's what I was going to talk to you about. Did you hear the bullshit that Disney's trying to pull?
If you're talking about the thing about Disney trying to buy Sonic, the guy who originated that post came out and said that he wasn't being serious about it. He was just making a shit post. So no, Disney is not actually trying to buy Sonic.
The hilarious thing, though, is I wouldn't put it past them. But no, one of the bullshit things that they're trying to do is they are going out of their way because they are in such denial that Mufasa bombed and Sonic 3 beat them out. They are in such denial that they posted a weekend's rating list on their Twitter page that deliberately edited out Sonic 3 of even being on the list. And put Mufasa at number 1.
I mean, it would be easier for Disney to stop losing so much money on these high-profile movies if they stopped spending like $500 million on each movie.
That too.
Like, not even factoring in like that their output this year hasn't been that good, apart from Inside Out 2. Like, the problem is they're seeing diminishing returns because their budgets are so high. Most of the time, these movies don't need to be that expensive.
Oh, 100% agree. Now, I will say this. I am fully anticipating Lilo and Stitch, because I love Stitch, and I can't wait to see, how well that movie actually does. I have no desire whatsoever to see Snow White.
I don't think anyone does.
You would have to drag me to that movie blindfolded and pretty much unable to do anything to get away.
Like, I'm of the opinion my issue with Snow White, other than it being yet another soulless live-action Disney remake, it doesn't have anything to do with, who they cast as whatever character. Because a lot of that is just people wanting to be racist, but not wanting to admit that they're racist. My issue is, the entire legendary status of Snow White as a movie comes from the fact that it was, a landmark achievement for the medium of animation. And then just doing it in live action is completely disrespecting that legacy. Disney remaking the movie that put the Disney studio on the map in live action is spitting in the face of what Walt Disney was trying to achieve with the original Snow White.
100% agree.
That's my issue.
I said there's that, and my other issue is the fact that the girl playing Snow White. Nothing against like her as like her race or anything of that. It's the fact that she's an absolute Twitter nightmare, and they really need to like get her to stop tweeting.
Yeah,
She's
unfortunately,
doing
that's the
nothing.
case with a lot of people in the entertainment industry right now. Is like they
Yeah.
just need to keep them off Twitter or get them like a social media person to do the tweeting for them, like they did in the old days.
Yeah, because like she is doing this movie no favors by talking. Like literally every time she talks about this movie, she goes on and praises it, how it's going to be revolutionary and the greatest movie ever fucking made. But it's going to be different from the original Snow White because of this reason and that reason, and this Snow White doesn't need a prince and all that shit. I'm just like,
Holy
you
shit, they
need to
changed the
stop.
wings. Okay, that's
Oh,
cool.
nice.
They did not need to change what the Doom wings look like, but I appreciate that they did.
Vegeta's an angel.
Let's see you top this form, Kakarot! Oh, and he's got the purple aura from later in Dragon Ball Super when he gets, what's that form called? Ultra Ego, I think?
Sure.
I don't know, I haven't read the Dragon Ball Super manga. I don't think most people have.
But yeah, that's my whole thing on that. But I am looking forward to Lilo and Stitch. Because I give them 100% credit. The casting for Lilo and Stitch is fucking brilliant. Like, they went out of their way to make sure that, you know, the entire cast was of Hawaiian descent. And you have Zach Galifianakis playing Jumba. That's fucking perfect.
Hey Miles, and yes, Vegeta Generations is the title of this mod.
Before. It's not something I should normally be able to do, yet it felt...
Oh, we're about to see another one of the mods kick in if it loaded properly. Because sometimes it doesn't. Just seems to be kind of a crapshoot.
Oh.
It involves Maria.
Oh no. What did you do? What did you do?
We're about to see if it actually worked. It's a me, Maria!
What? I'm gonna go ahead and head out. You have a great stream.
Holy shit, it's Chris Pratt.
Just, God damn it, Arikado. What did you do? What did you do?
It's what happens when you change one letter in Maria's name.
Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Are you out there, Mario?
Deal with the
Are
problem.
you out there, Dark Blue Yoshi? Are you watching this shit?
He heard about this mod and thought about getting this game just so he could use this mod and
Oh,
dub over all of
God.
Maria's lines as Mario.
We need to get him on one of these streams sometime, just for fun.
Yeah, I need to like actually talk to him sometime. The closest interaction I've had with him was when I tuned into his 24-hour charity marathon and talked to him in chat there for a bit.
Nice.
And also won one of the raffles. We got into a discussion about the live-action Mario movie.
Nice.
I told him about how, like, I made a Twitter post years ago talking about how, like, this was in my pre-Arikado days, when I did reviews more frequently instead of focusing on streaming as my main thing. I made a post on Twitter saying, like, I've just found out that the live-action Mario movie's not on any streaming services. Does anyone know a good way to watch it? And then the Mario Movie Archive, which is the biggest resource for a lot of stuff about the Mario movie and run by some passionate fans, reached out to me and gave me their like pre-release cut of an HD remaster from one of the original copies that they were able to get a hold of.
Nice.
And like, their only condition was if I decided to review it, that they wanted me to credit them as, you know, the source of where I got it from. And, you know, I never ended up reviewing it, but, you know, that was cool. And I believe, if I remember correctly, their remaster was served as the basis for the recent 4K restoration that came out on Blu-ray in Australia.
Nice.
Like, they also put together a whole new cut of the movie that includes deleted scenes that add to the plot, which we didn't know existed until they were found on a VHS tape in storage in, like, some random place that they managed to get a hold of.
Oh my god.
So they have put together the most complete cut of the Mario movie.
Does it actually make it coherent?
I haven't watched it yet, but it supposedly fills in some of the plot holes. Like, one of the problems with the live-action Mario movie is that it was constantly being rewritten on a daily basis. Oh no, the stick bug broke out. The stick bug froze.
Oh no. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I fixed it, everyone. We'll just assume that I fixed it.
But, like, the Mario Movie Archive has done some fantastic stuff. They've even archived, one of the original story treatments for, an earlier version of the Mario movie from before it became what it is now. Where, like, you know, from before they got the director duo that, made the final version, they've archived, like, story treatments from earlier attempts at making a Mario movie, which is really cool. Like, one of them was supposed to be more like Rain Man. Which
I have questions.
would be in, because it was written by the screenwriter for Rain Man, and it was supposed to focus less on, you know, the action and comedy and more on the brotherly bond between Mario and Luigi.
The only thing I could ever say about the Mario movie is, okay, and this is that movie is like my hear me out movie, right?
It is for me too.
Because, like, my whole thing with it is everyone gives it shit. Is it a good movie? Fuck no. Is it a bad movie? Yes, but hear me out. If you pretend that it's not based on the video games at all, it's actually a watchable and good movie.
Yeah, it's the best kid-friendly cyberpunk movie if you detach it from the Mario IP.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just pretend it's not a Mario movie. Pretend it has nothing to do with Super Mario or the video games. And you actually have one of the best movies from my early childhood.
It's also just like, it's got some spectacular set design that not enough people praise.
Set design and the special effects from back then were pretty good too.
Yeah, the only reason that people shit on the special effects is because Jurassic Park came out that same weekend and revolutionized special effects for the entire industry.
Guess which movie I saw in theaters? Incidentally, I love Jurassic Park. It's my favorite movie of all time. In fact, Arikado and I were just talking about that before the stream started. But Mario was the one I saw in theaters of the two.
That is actually interesting. I didn't see it until I saw it at Blockbuster one day, and it caught my eye.
Well, that was the whole thing is, like, I wanted to see Jurassic Park.
I wanted to see it so badly, but my parents were afraid it would make me afraid of dinosaurs. So they took me to Mario instead. And I ended up enjoying it. It was a good movie. For me, anyway, you know, as a kid. But I did not see Jurassic Park until it had come out on VHS, like you said. And my parents sat down with me and they were all like, you know, the whole story of, okay, Mike, just know this is a movie. It's not real. We know you love dinosaurs. And we don't want you to be afraid of them. Right?
Yeah.
I fucking loved every minute of that movie. They were shocked at the fact that I was rooting for the dinosaurs the entire fucking movie.
Yeah, the dinosaurs weren't doing anything wrong. It was the people that, to my understanding, the dinosaurs aren't the bad guys of the movie.
Nope, Dennis Nedry and John Hammond are.
They're just doing what dinosaurs do.
Yep, the main villains of that movie were John Hammond and Dennis Nedry.
I say that as someone who still to this day has not seen Jurassic Park.
You've never actually seen the movie Jurassic Park?
No, I haven't.
I thought you just said you saw it at Blockbuster.
No, I said I was talking about the Mario movie.
Oh.
Because the Mario movie came out the year I was born, so I couldn't have seen it in theaters. But I didn't. But the way I saw the Mario movie was I saw a copy of it at Blockbuster one day. It caught my eye, and I rented it. You know, that's
Everyone
what you
gives-
use. That's how you used to discover cult classics like that. Was like you would see something that catches your eye, usually through the box art at Blockbuster
Right.
or Hollywood Video or whatever. In my case, it was always Blockbuster. And like that's sort of a lost art form of home movie releases is creating appealing or eye-catching box art. Because like if you look at a lot of like B-movie box art nowadays, it's just Photoshop nightmares. It's like it's the epitome of graphic design is my passion.
I said everyone gives Jurassic Park like this whole thing of it's a movie about, you know, playing God and the moral of the movie is don't play God and all of this stuff. I'm like, no, it isn't. The moral of the movie is pay your employees right, or pay your employees correctly. Otherwise, they're gonna steal your shit and bail and cause you a lot of fucking problems.
If I remember correctly, one of the morals of that movie is also Jeff Goldblum can be surprisingly sexy.
I mean, look, man, back then I wasn't like bisexual or anything like that. But even I'm like one of those, like, I'm like, you know what? Jeff Goldblum was kind of always sexy back then.
Yeah, especially if you see him in something like The Fly. You know, before he gets turned into The Fly.
Right. I was gonna say, because if you're sexually attracted to The Fly, we need to have a talk.
I mean, I've known some monster fuckers before. I have a friend that's sexually attracted to the Predator.
To be fair, one of my favorite characters from Hell of a Boss, who I'm actually kind of in love with, is a monster fucker. So, yeah, can't actually judge.
That same friend of mine also was interested in something that I saw a random article about, which was about a bedroom toy that lays eggs inside you.
I beg your fucking pardon.
The eggs are made out of gelatin, so they dissolve due to your body heat.
Right, because that makes that sentence all the better.
I'm explaining that it's not too dangerous. Right. It's for people that are into like aliens or tentacle monsters or things like that.
It's just, ugh. I've been envisioning it and I wish I wasn't. Oh god, it's in that thing inside my head that does the thinking.
Your brain?
Yes, that thing.
You're welcome.
Ugh.
There's your nightmare fuel for the night.
I don't want it.
Now, if you're a fan of to get onto a topic to hopefully help you not focus on that too much, the Snapcube references mod changes more than just making Shadow say Zawardo whenever you use Chaos Control.
I've been hearing him say it's Baruto.
You wanna know one of my favorite things about Boruto and by extension Naruto that that lives rent-free in my head thanks to something Team 4-Star said in one of their creator
Sure, as long as you're okay. Sure, as long as you're okay with me giving random trivia once you're done.
Sure.
Okay, shoot.
Technically, if you, like, you could, you know, I've seen a lot of people argue that, they should have localized Boruto's name as Bolt. But by that extension, you could also localize it as Bort. And by extension, you could localize, Naruto's name as Nart.
Nice. So, my random bit of trivia is, I've never actually seen a full season of Naruto.
I wouldn't exactly recommend getting into it with the hindsight of knowing how it plays out. Because, like, it has severe pacing and, character problems as it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm in the minority of Naruto who thinks that the first major arc of the series, the Land of Waves arc, is the most interesting because it's the one time that they're doing ninja stuff, as in, like, you know, bodyguarding and assassination stuff, as opposed to, you know, tournament arcs or, you know, fighting to save the world from god-level powered characters.
Right. I said, every time, and my reasoning is stupid, but every time I try to sit through it, the only thing I can think of is how when I very first watched that show, I missed the part of dialogue where they said the one dude was actually, or the one, that one dude that looks like a girl.
Haku.
Haku. I missed the first line of dialogue referencing that it was a dude. And I had a huge crush on Haku. And it fucked with my head when they revealed it was a guy. Like fully revealed that it was a guy.
And nowadays, Haku would probably be considered a femboy icon.
I mean, he is. Like, he is considered a femboy icon.
I wouldn't know because I'm not very active in those spaces.
The funny thing is that the creator of the manga has said that the original plan.
Please don't smash us to bits!
The smirk, the Vegeta smirk.
The Vegeta smirk
anyway,
works so well for that.
doesn't it though? But what I was saying is that the creator of Naruto has gone on record saying that the original plan was for Haku to be transgender male to female. But given the time that Naruto was coming out, he didn't know how that would be received. So he scrapped it and just had him be a femboy.
Which, given that this was like early 2000s, that's probably for the best. Not just because of the reception, but also because, like, not saying this to disrespect his writing talents, I don't think he would have known exactly how to write a transgender male to female character at that time period when male to female transgender people weren't as big a public thing as they are now. So you look at a lot of like honest attempts at transgender representation from back in that time period, and it just comes off as like, oh no, you have no idea what it's like to be trans. This is definitely written by a cisgender person. Like unintentionally playing into harmful stereotypes while trying to actually be helpful.
But that's why Haku's voice actor gave him a very, very effeminate voice.
Yep.
Was because the original idea was it was supposed to be a transgender character.
They bring back Haku and Zabuza in the fight to save the world as an enemy.
I don't claim to be an expert on Naruto, but I'm pretty sure Zabuza's dead.
Yeah, well, characters come back from the dead in Naruto pretty frequently.
That's fair. That's fair. It's an anime. What was I thinking?
Yeah. Like, they arguably do it worse than Dragon Ball does it, because in Dragon Ball, there's at least, like, oh, you can only bring a character back from the dead one time. Or, like, one time and then they can't be brought back again.
Which is the biggest load of bullshit they ever said.
Yes, because they keep finding ways to subvert that rule.
The greatest one they ever had was where the dragon outright fucking admitted, like, look, the rules are pretty much black and white. Or shades of gray, or whatever the fuck it is he says. Like, he outright admits, like, look, it's like this. Yeah.
Even attempts to get rid of the dragon, to make it so they can't just wish people back, usually has some sort of subversion to it. Like, oh no, Piccolo and Kami have fused, so Kami's gone, which means the Dragon Balls don't exist anymore. What do? Oh, we just get another Namekian from the clan of Namekians that make Dragon Balls, and he can just make us some new Dragon Balls.
Yep. Because
like,
that's how physics works.
It's not a physics issue, but sure.
Well, yeah. You knew what I meant.
Well, a lot of that has to do with how Toriyama had... He was what is known in the writing community as a pantser, which is someone who just kind of makes shit up as he goes along without like 100% laid out plan for how everything's going to play out. He's writing by the seat of his pants, and often he would write himself into corners and then have to immediately write himself out of those corners.
Yep.
And we love him all the more for it.
On a completely unrelated note, I just learned today that Banjo-Kazooie came out in 1998. And I'm doing the math in my head, and that shit don't make sense. But okay.
Yeah, it came out in 98.
I thought it was 2000, but apparently that was the sequel.
Yeah, that was Banjo-Tooie. I remember because I had a few issues of Nintendo Power from that period, even though I didn't really have any Nintendo consoles apart from a Game Boy Color. And I saw ads for Banjo-Kazooie in there. And these were like circa 1998.
Nice.
Just taking a sip of my energy drink. I found out that C4 tastes good, especially the cherry popsicle flavor.
Dude, have you tried the Skittles one yet? The Skittles is my favorite.
I've never been a fan of Skittles as a candy, so I haven't tried that out.
Dude, even if you're not a fan of Skittles as a candy...
Well, it depends on what Skittles flavor it's supposed to be.
It's just generic Skittles, but it doesn't taste like Skittles. It's weird. Like, it tastes... Okay, how to describe it? It tastes kind of like a mix of, like, Fruit Punch... or orange dreamsicle and like blue raspberry flavoring.
Sounds like an interesting
But, like-
flavor profile. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, but like all at once.
Okay.
Like your mind doesn't register what it's tasting, kind of thing. I know that doesn't sell it, but trust me, it tastes good. This is one of those trust me, bro situations.
This section right here, you know, where we have to complete challenges in order to get keys, is one of the reasons I'm not doing level mods right now, and I'll come back to them later. Because if you swap out the levels, then the challenges don't work properly because they're built around specific camera angles and specific level geometry.
Ah.
So, like, for example, if I were to use the mod that replaces Space Colony Arc Act 1 with Eternal Highway from Sonic Frontiers, then I wouldn't be able to do the challenges, and then I wouldn't be able to fight the first boss, and then, therefore, wouldn't be able to beat the game.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Or if I swapped out Rail Canyon for the one that I want to swap it out for, which I'll have to dedicate an entire stream just to that one level because it'll take so long. I wouldn't be able to, you know, do the challenges either. Basically, the level that I'll have to dedicate an entire stream to, it swaps out Rail Canyon Act 1 for a level based on the Sega CD game Desert Bus.
Oh, God.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, God, no.
Thankfully, it doesn't take 8 hours to complete, because you're playing as Shadow the Hedgehog and not a bus. It only takes 3 hours to complete. I've thought about doing a Desert Bus stream sometime because there's a charity called Desert Bus for Hope that does a charity marathon every year where they stream Desert Bus for as long as they can to raise money. And it goes on, it's like it goes on for like a week, I think. And they swap at, like, they all take turns playing. So, it's like non-stop Desert Bus. You there for it?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. But yeah, look up Desert Bus for Hope. It's a really cool charity.
Nice.
They've already done their thing for last year. It's like, I don't know when they do it. I'll have to look that up. But, yeah, they're a really cool group.
Go check them out, people. Do it. Do it now.
Do it now! Put the cookie down! Now! I love that even Arnold Schwarzenegger is in on the put that cookie down meme, considering he recorded it for, like, a vlog. So we now have HD modern day footage of Arnold Schwarzenegger telling you to put that cookie down.
Nice.
Oh, so, I found out something stupid that Bandai Namco did that, rustles my jimmies more than a little bit.
That who did now?
Bandai Namco.
Ah, yes.
Basically, I was looking to see, like, if I could get a digital copy of Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth for my PS5, because I don't have the model of PS5 that allows you to play discs, so I can't play my physical copy without breaking out the PS4, and that's a hassle to set up. They delisted the first Cyber Sleuth from PSN, and when asked about it, their support said that they delisted it because the newer game Hacker's Memory is out, and that's what they want people to play. But it's like, no, you can't delist the original because the sequel came out and you want them to play that. That's not how stories work. And what makes it worse is that they bundled them together. They bundled it together as the complete edition on Switch and Steam. And they did it on PS4 in Japan, and then just didn't bring it to PS4 anywhere else.
That's pretty fucking stupid.
So, like, I can still play Cyber Sleuth on my Switch or on Steam, but if I want to play it on my PlayStations, I have to dig out the PS4 and put in my physical copy. And they not only delisted it, they also, like, removed the ability to access it on the store if you have a physical copy, which means if you didn't get the DLC, you can't anymore.
That's really stupid.
It's a weird thing, because usually when they do something like that, it's because of a licensing issue. But Bandai Namco owns Digimon. What's the issue here?
100% agree. Like, man, what the fuck you thinking, bro?
And it stings even more because if you're not aware of, like, the history of Cyber Sleuth and why it was such a big deal that came out here, it was like the first proper Digimon game to get localized outside of Japan in over a decade. It was entirely due to a fan petition. The one time that change.org petition actually led to something. Like, prior to that, Bandai Namco was convinced that Digimon was just a dead property outside of Japan. Hey, Coffee Pot. So, like, there was a fan petition that got thousands of signatures, and they were like, okay, we'll put out this shitty Power Stone ripoff featuring Digimon characters on PS3, and if enough people buy that, we'll consider localizing Cyber Sleuth on PS4. And we did. And it came out. And then they delisted it and made it so you can't buy it anymore on PS4.
I feel like Bandai Namco doesn't fully understand success sometimes.
Yeah. Also, yes, Coffee Pod, you did hear Zawar, though, courtesy of the Snapcube Vegeta. And yes, he is Vegeta. I mean, Snapcube Shadow, damn. I'm thinking, damn, not here. I've got a mod that makes him say damn every time he gets hit, but I don't have that enabled, because that would fuck with the Zawar, though, because you can only have one of those sound mods for Vegeta. For Shadow, equipped at a time. I keep saying Vegeta because I'm used to, not only because of the model, but because I'm used to Shadow from, like, the past decade or so just being written as the Vegeta to Sonic's Goku, rather than as Shadow.
You've got Vegeta on the brain.
I mean, when do I not? I'm a Vegeta fanboy. Look, I don't care that he's married to Bulma. I am attracted to both of them, and I am 100% okay with sharing both of them with each other.
Honestly, my girl from Dragon Ball is kind of an odd choice. Actually, both of my girls in a weird way.
Is one of them Android 21? Because if that's the case, it's absolutely not weird.
No. Android 18, so you were close.
Okay, Android 18's a very common choice.
Yes, but my other one is Launch.
Okay, Launch is a choice that I respect because Launch does not get the people do not put respect on Launch's name like they should.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that the creator of the damn thing forgot.
Yeah,
Launch
Toriyama
exists.
forgot all about her.
When he was creating Dragon Ball Z, he completely forgot she was a character,
Yeah.
despite the fact that she was a main character of the original series.
Yep. And that's a thing that the creator of Naruto ended up picking up from Toriyama alongside a lot of narrative beats from Dragon Ball that he would carry over into Naruto because he was a self-admitted fan of Dragon Ball and of Toriyama's work in general. Like pretty much every manga creator in Japan is. But he carried on the forgetting that female characters exist thing with the character Tenten. She never gets to do anything interesting because he keeps forgetting that she exists. Your pick is Kefla. Okay, Kefla's a good choice. Because it's a fusion of two cute Saiyan girls. So it's like having a three-way with only two people.
I also kind of like Videl.
Okay, Videl is just precious.
But
Also,
again,
I am
I'm
of
not
the
a huge
opinion
Dragon
that her
Ball
twin
person.
tail, her initial design when she had twin tails is her best design. You will not change my mind on that.
I mean, I wouldn't even try to because I don't really know much about the show.
Like, when she was initially introduced, she had, like, this cute twin tail haircut. And I'm a sucker for twin tail haircuts. Short hair, I'm sorry. Well, she kept the short hair for most of the series. So, I can understand why you would prefer that. It's just, I'm a sucker for the twin tail haircut. No matter who it's on. Anyways, time for another mod to kick in that involves the Bio Lizard. Also, thanks for showing me that the Bio Lizard got a Lego set. Well, two mods here. First of all,
You're welcome.
Professor Gerald's death sentence message.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
is
the
a cool,
pigtail look. That's the look I like on her.
And also, Christmas Bio Lizard.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Look at him.
the
He's
ears.
got his reindeer hat on and his
It's the
Rudolph
nose.
nose.
It's the nose. It's the nose that does it for me.
Every human being on Earth, if my calculations are correct, the space colony R will impact the Earth in 20...
God, I'm so not used to the old Professor Gerald voice.
But yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked to see that Bio Lizard actually got some love in the Sonic Lego sets.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm happy that did. Bio Lizard's awesome. Even if it's not much of a character.
it's a very important character in Shadow's lore.
Yeah, he's the prototype for Project Shadow.
I plan to give you a taste of my revenge once all the Southern Chaos Emeralds are collected.
Man, if JKR was here, he would be fanboying over these Professor Gerald messages, because he loves Professor Gerald's speech of like his condemnation of mankind right before he's executed. It helps that it's also just a genuinely really chilling speech for a kid's game.
To be fair, can we really call Shadow the Hedgehog itself a children's game?
Well, the speech was from Sonic Adventure 2.
That's fair.
Like, the Professor
Incidentally,
Gerald
that was
that
one
we
of the
see in
first-
Sonic... Like, Professor
Sorry.
Gerald is an interesting character because we get to... whether like, your perception of him as a character depends on what point in his life you see him at. Because, like, the one that we see in this game and in Shadow the Hedgehog is from before the Ark raid where Maria was killed and before he went crazy. Whereas the one in Sonic Adventure 2 is the one that's given up all hope on humanity and wants to wipe out all of mankind.
Right. I said, incidentally, I probably mentioned this before on the stream, but fuck, I lost my train of thought. Hold on,
also, they changed the bubbles that you have to homing attack into ornaments, and I love that.
Oh, God. Anyway, Sonic Adventure 2 was actually one of the first games, in fact, one of the two first games that I got for the GameCube.
Yeah, it was one of my first two. My first was Luigi's Mansion, and then Pikmin, and then Super Smash Bros. Melee. Right. I got Super Smash Bros. Melee solely because Miles, one of my childhood best friends, told me I should get it. And he was right. Oh, it's a snowball!
Yes. But, the reason I had Melee and Sonic Adventures 2 as the first two games that I had for the GameCube is because my parents got my GameCube at a Sam's Club bundle.
Oh, cool.
For like kind of a Christmas thing, but it wasn't given to me for Christmas. It was a you just had dental surgery, get over it gift.
I see.
And yes. And it really helped, to be honest. But it was a bundle with Smash Brothers Melee and Sonic Adventure 2.
Man, I wish this game had a photo mode. Me too. But with the Hedge Mod Manager, which is what I use for installing mods, you can disable the UI and take screenshots without the UI getting in the way. But photo mode would be a good update, especially considering Frontiers had it. Didn't we play 007 a lot too, Ari? Yeah, we played GoldenEye Rogue Agent a lot. Because that was the multiplayer 007 game I owned. You know, the GoldenEye sequel that has fuck all to do with GoldenEye. You foul creature! Why do you keep sending me to Radical Highway? I just think Radical Highway is really cool.
Yes. I incidentally ended up playing Melee more of the two.
I played Melee a lot, but I never unlocked all the characters.
I just did the cheat to get Mewtwo. Because everyone was like, oh, you have to play this many hours to get Mewtwo. I'm like, nah, just keep your PlayStation, or just keep your GameCube on overnight while you're going to sleep.
Yeah, I never did that because I was worried about, like, my GameCube breaking. Oh, the mod works with cutscenes? Yeah, because most of the cutscenes are in-engine, so, mods are reflected in the cutscenes. You still remember the Twonky game? Yeah, Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. I still have my copy of it.
Oh, Lord. Why is Furret yawning so much all of a sudden?
Is Furret eepy?
Furret does not know. Furret still has energy. Furret is just old?
Well, there's that, but yes.
You damn kids! Get off my Pokeball lawn!
Furret needs an energy drink.
You're
By the
not
way,
wrong.
Coffee Pot says Furret has a cute fursona.
Thank you. You could actually
Doom
thank
Surf
God.
is the fucking Saiyan pod. I love it. Sorry.
Nice. I was
This
gonna say,
mod
you could
keeps
actually-
impressing me because they changed so much stuff that they didn't need to change.
You could actually thank Dark Blue Yoshi for the Furret that you currently see on the screen, because he commissioned it to a friend of mine, or to a friend of his rather. And I love my Furret. Incidentally, it's kind of hard to see on the stream, but if you look on his shirt, it's Kyokajiro from My Hero Academia. Because at the time that I commissioned this artwork, I had a huge crush on Kyokajiro.
So this is a collectible that I completely didn't know about during my initial stream of this game that I think is pretty cool. You know that, like, if you buy a physical copy of the first print of this game, which is still in circulation, you get a physical copy of Professor Gerald Robotnik's journal, right?
Nice.
To make sure that people didn't miss out on that just because they couldn't get physical copies of the first print, they included it as a collectible in-game that you get by shooting down those little carrier guys. You collect it a couple, like 2 pages at a time, and then you can view it digitally.
Very nice.
Especially since the journal includes some new lore that they didn't want people to miss out on. Like the fact that Maria has a sister who is still alive.
I'm sorry, that actually hurt my brain there for a minute.
Because she wasn't on the Ark when the raid happened. She was on Earth the whole time.
Right.
Yeah, we also
that
get to see
checks.
Eggman's dad.
Okay, that's actually kind of pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, we find out that Professor Gerald had 2 sons, both of which were geniuses like him, both of which became scientists, and one of which went on to become an archaeologist and was Maria's father, and one of which was a roboticist and was Eggman's father.
See, that I actually kind of knew, because I knew Maria and Eggman were cousins.
Yeah, but we didn't know, like, anything about their parents.
Right.
We also find there's a little bit of retconning in there where they say that Maria was brought onto the Ark to treat her illness, whereas in like earlier lore, it was implied that she was born on the Ark.
And then you have the Sonic 3 movie lore, in which she's just kind of there.
Yep. Without getting into
Love that
spoilers
movie,
for
but-
the Sonic 3 movie.
No, we're not getting into movie. We're not getting into spoilers for it. It's just literally. I don't think they ever explain.
The most they say in the movie, without getting into spoilers, is that Gerald just brings her with him wherever he goes.
Yeah. Love that freaking movie, and I can't wait to see it again on digital.
Same here. I'm also gonna buy it on Blu-ray so I can own a physical copy.
Oh, dude, I've already got it pre-ordered through Amazon.
I just don't have the money to pre-order it right now, but I will next week when my birthday money comes in from my dad. And probably my
Nice.
mom as well, considering, you know, I'm hard to shop for when it comes to, like, buying birthday or Christmas presents, because even I don't know what I want.
Right.
But, like, at the same time, I'm appreciative of, like, anything you think to get me, Because I'm just like, oh, you don't need to buy me anything, but if you do buy me something, I'll still 100% love and appreciate it.
I still need to get your game shipped to you.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. When I was at the UPS store mailing my Sega 32X to get repaired. It was really crowded there. There was a line going outside the store.
Yeah, that is one thing that JKR should have warned you about. I have your stuff. They're still in perfect condition.
Yeah.
I'm just really bad about remembering, hey, I gotta ship this off.
I could send you some reminders every now and then, but I'm gonna try, you know, obviously not to pester you about it.
Right.
Because as someone with autism and ADHD, who has problems with remembering to mail stuff, especially, being constantly reminded by someone on like a daily basis to do the thing I need to do doesn't necessarily help. If anything, it makes me want to do it less.
Exactly.
That's it.
100% agree.
Okay, I'm glad someone understands where I'm coming from. It's not even necessarily like, oh, now I'm not gonna do it out of spite thing. It's just more like you're stressing me out about it.
I do this.
And you're making it harder for me to get ready to do it.
Yeah. I said I also got like an autograph for another mutual friend of me and JKR's, and she hasn't actually given me the payment for it yet. Like what we agreed on. Kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I'm hesitant to even send her stuff until I see the payment.
Yeah, I get you on that.
I'm like, look, you know,
Like, if you agreed to some sort of payment, then you're owed that payment.
right.
Unless
But,
it's like some sort of unforeseen emergency where they absolutely cannot pay, then
Exactly.
they need
that,
to
I
pay.
mean, that I can get behind, you know, like, hey, this came up. Okay, not a problem. Fully understand. I personally just had to drop 73 freaking dollars to pay off an accidental, credit card debt that I had. So I fully get, you know, the whole, you know, emergencies come up and you run out of money. You know, I get it.
Or in my case, I'm just bad with managing my money.
I mean, that too. Like 100% that too.
Yeah, God, I love this remix of the Kingdom Valley theme from Sonic 06. I'm happy to see Sonic 06 not be like, you know, the one that shall not be named anymore, because I feel like its status as like the worst thing ever is really overblown. And the way that Sega treated it as like this thing that is not allowed to be even spoken of in official materials was like, I get that it was a really bad game and it damaged the brand identity of Sonic when it came out in 2006, but at the same time, that was nearly 20 years ago. Get the fuck over it.
Fuck yeah.
I'm glad to see they're finally taking that approach, because Sonic 06 had some cool stuff in it that for the longest time they weren't allowed to do anything with because of mandates saying that they weren't allowed to acknowledge its existence. Like, Ian Flynn had plans of stuff he wanted to do with Mephiles the Dark in the Archie comics that he never got to do because Sega was like, no, you can't have characters from Sonic 06 in the comics.
Man, It straight up fucking hurts my head to think that next year Sonic 06 is going to be 20.
Yeah, it hurts my head to think that this year the Xbox 360 is turning 20.
I'm going to go sit in the I'm old corner. You can join me if you want.
I'm already there. I've already got the joint pain telling me that I'm old.
Bruh, I'm going to be 39 this year. I am not okay. Next year, I get a prostate exam for my birthday.
Oh, fun.
As long as they buy me dinner first.
Sorry that I haven't been reading chat much. It's I was hyper focused on the stage. I'll get to chat in just a sec. You know how the autism and ADHD be. Sometimes you get hyper focused on stuff and you lose track.
I'll be honest.
Other
I
things.
can read the chat too, but I mostly just have it open so I get those points, so I can do shit like this.
Yeah, you're not a mod anyway, so I don't expect you to be keeping an eye on it. Someone just threw something at me, and I say thank you for throwing something at me.
Please, sir, may I have another?
Please, sir, may I have some more? More? I've never seen that movie, but I still know that. I saw a different Oliver Twist movie.
I've seen the Disney one with the dogs. Oliver and Company, and then I
That's
saw
a different
stage version.
No,
of
that's
Oliver
unrelated
Twist.
to Oliver, and that's unrelated to Oliver Twist.
Oliver and Company?
Yes.
It is 100% Oliver Twist, just retold with animals.
Oh, I didn't know that because I've never seen Oliver and Company. I just think it just involved two characters named Oliver.
No, it was Disney's version of Oliver Twist.
Also, Oliver, I hardly know her.
Cute.
Speaking of cute, Big the Cat. I'm glad that he's appearing more.
Hello, your name's Shadow.
I've actually cosplayed as Fagin from that movie, from Oliver.
The Shadow the Vegeta smirk works so well for these.
Doesn't it, though? But yeah, I've cosplayed as Fagin, and I have a little plushie of Oliver and a little plushie of Dodger.
But yeah, I agree, CoffeeBot. It's great that they're acknowledging that Big is just like a really likable character, because Shadow genuinely smiles when he first meets Big in this scene.
Yeah.
Like, not a smirk, a smile.
Look, you can't help but smile when Big's around. You can't.
I love this because for the longest time, people were like, oh, Big the Cat sounds like he's a simpleton in the English dub and had gameplay that we don't like, so he's the worst character ever. We're going to harp on Big the Cat being this horrible piece of shit. And I'm like, no, he's like the chillest dude. And he's a friend to everybody.
Agree. And also, if Big the Cat ever does show up in the movies and he's not voiced by either Vin Diesel or Dwayne Johnson, they failed us.
Yeah. Sorry. Especially given that Big the Cat's original voice actor is the voice of Duke Nukem.
That's awesome.
And his current voice actor is Kyle LeBear, who voices Fat Gum from My Hero Academia.
That's even more awesome. I love Fat Gum.
And he's also probably more known for being the narrator for Dragon Ball Z for a long time, and voicing Adult Gohan in Dragon Ball.
Incidentally, Anime 405, one of the big conventions out here that I go to, or plan to start going to every year, they really just started last year. In fact, that's the one I went to meet Amelie. They've already started announcing voice guest stars they've already started announcing their guests
Their guests, yeah.
for this coming December. Like, I'm actually impressed they're even getting guests this early.
I've actually had the honor of meeting Kyle Hebert in person, and he's just the sweetest dude. Like, I missed his autograph session, but I managed to catch him, like, in the halls right when the convention was about to end. And, you know, I understand now that it's bad form to go up to someone outside of their autograph session and ask them for an autograph. But, like, I just asked for a picture with him, and he stopped and took the picture with me and then offered me an autograph. Because he was carrying a Sharpie with him, just in case.
Yeah, it is genuinely considered bad form.
But,
However,
like, I didn't even have to ask him for the autograph. He just offered it to me.
Right. I had an experience like that with Carolina Rabasa, actually. I went to her, like, a special screening of a movie that she's in, that they were doing at the convention. And I just happened to have my Sombra, like, one of my Sombra figures with me. Because I was like, I wasn't gonna ask her, but like my brain was saying you should take it anyway just in case, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And you know, when I told her, you know, how much of an impact her movie had on me and everything, how really it's just such a really good movie. Which I'll tell you about it later because it's like kind of an adult movie, you know, wink. But it had an impact on me because of just the deep message in it. She was moved by that and then saw that I had the figure in my hand and said, "Did you want me to sign that, by the way?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure. How much do I owe you?" She goes, "Oh, no, it's free." And just signed it for me.
That's sweet.
So now I have her autograph 4 times.
Hope to see you later, Coffee Pot. I always enjoy having you pop by in chat. Or the rare occasions where I get to have you on call now.
Have a good night, Coffee.
He said he might be back later. But yeah, I also got to go to Kyle Hebert's voice acting panel, and I got to do a Hadouken in front of him, because he would tell us what he wanted us to do. And he also voices Ryu in Street Fighter, starting with Street Fighter 4.
Nice.
And when I got up there, he told me to do my best Hadouken. So I did.
Oh, crap. Where I was going with the whole, they're announcing voice actors things. They actually just announced the main guy from Jujutsu Kaisen today.
I'm not familiar with Jujutsu Kaisen, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'd have to look up the name of the actor. That's going to require me getting on Facebook and doing things. I just remember, like, because he's also the main male character from a show called Star Butterfly. The fuck was that called? Star versus
the Forces of Evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam MacArthur is the name of the actor.
I don't think I'm familiar with much of his work, because I never saw Star versus either.
I love Star versus the Forces of Evil. It was such a random fucking show.
Okay, this level right here is really cool to me, because it's a level from Sonic Forces, which is a game that, as I've said on stream too many times, I despise, mostly due to its really shitty level design, when I'm not talking about its horrible story. But this is, like, one of the worst levels from Sonic Forces, so it's an odd choice to pick. But they made it actually good.
Nice.
Like, they took the game with the most inherently bad level design in the Sonic 3D games and made it good. That's an accomplishment worth celebrating.
Oh, shit. Kyle Herbert. Voice of
Kyle Hebert, nice.
Yeah, he's one of the... Yeah, he's one of the voice actors that they've announced for this con. That's what got my brain thinking on the whole thing. So I was like, why did that sound familiar?
But yeah, if you
Johnny
get
Young
the chance,
Bosch.
Johnny Young
Johnny
Bosch is
Bosco.
oh yeah, you still need to send me that Johnny Young Bosch autograph as well.
I'm pretty damn sure mutual friend of ours still has it.
Okay, then we'll have to remind him.
He already sent it to you.
I don't have it.
I'm gonna have to talk to them about that because I'm like, no, because I don't have that anymore. That was handed off.
To be fair, he had to send me a lot of things at once, so it might have just slipped his mind.
Yeah. But
like
Dante
one thing he
Bosco
was
is the one I'm
supposed to send me
excited for.
apparently was an upgrade kit for the Legacy Armada Megatron, and he forgot to send that to me.
Nice. But Dante Bosco is one
Gotta
I'm
love
excited
Dante
for.
Bosco.
Alex Brightman is returning.
Nice.
So I might go
I've
see
got
him again.
JKR gave me a autograph from Alex Brightman, so I've got that covered, but still, that's so cool. My sister actually, speaking of stuff from Beetlejuice the Musical,
Abby
my sister told me that she got to do like an acting, like an intense acting camp featuring some people that was like coached by some people from the Beetlejuice musical.
Nice.
Because my sister is like a serious actress. She's actually been an extra in a movie.
Nice. And that's all they've announced so far.
And she's like, well, I say she's really into acting. Not only has she done several school plays as well as been doing improv stuff since she was a kid, but she's like one of the top people in her school's theater program.
That's awesome.
And she's considering going to the North Carolina School of the Arts to pursue like like professional education in theater.
That's awesome, man.
If I ever got to introduce you guys to my sister, I think you guys would like her. She's also recently gotten into horror movies. Like, she showed me the first prop that she has made for a costume, which I'm really proud of her for, because that's one step towards making her a cosplayer.
Yeah.
Because it was also a school assignment. It was like, it was for her theater tech class where they had to design and make a prop from a pre-existing movie or play. And she was the only one in the class that went above and beyond with it. Like, everyone in her class was like, oh, I made a sword. You know, something simple to make. She was like, I'm going to make the reverse bear trap from the first Saw movie.
Oh, God.
And make it wearable.
Oh, God.
And she did. I told you, my sister's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
And she wore it for her Halloween costume. She was Amanda from Saw.
Nice. That's another franchise I've only ever seen one movie of.
It's a franchise that, like, it has a lot of ups and downs. I would argue that Saw 1 and Saw 3 are the best, and that the series should have ended with Saw 3. But, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Right.
A big problem that I have with Saw is that as it went on, it had, like, this sort of contractual obligation that every movie has to have some sort of huge plot twist that reframes the context of the entire chronology of the series. And it got to the point where it becomes really predictable what the twists are going to be because you know there's going to be a twist every time.
Right. So I was going to say the only cosplay I ever made props for was when I did modern day Link from Legend of Zelda. I need to get back into prop making, though. I really want to.
The only I've made a couple pieces of like armor for cosplays I never completed. Like I started making armor for a Mega Man from Mega Man Legends cosplay, but I never finished it. I even made the whole helmet myself. Using a tutorial made by the prop maker Evil Ted.
Nice.
And I need to remake it because it doesn't properly fit my head, and it's also just really old. And I can do better now.
The prop I was most proud of in that was I actually made a replica of the Ocarina of Time hookshot.
Nice.
I took an old garden tool, a broken spear, like broken 300 spear, and some chain, painted them all up, and glued them together.
The prop that I'm most proud of making, which is also like one of the only ones I've made that isn't armor, was I made the Alistair sword from Devil May Cry 1 and Beautiful Joe for an Alistair cosplay.
Nice.
And the way I made it was like I bought a pre-existing like foam LARPing sword, and I made the hilt of the Alistair blade out of Crayola model magic and painted it with a metallic purple paint by hand.
Nice.
Because while the sword appears more like silver in Devil May Cry, in Beautiful Joe, it's very much a purple. Because Alistair himself has a purple color scheme. I also made Alistair's helmet, which was a pain in the ass to make. Because his helmet has, like, goat horns on it. And I didn't know how to make that, but I found someone on Etsy that sells goat horns made from, like, resin. And so I bought those and glued them onto the helmet base that I made. And then for the visor, I bought... Because he has, like, a red visor that covers his eyes at all times. I bought a, like, translucent reddish pink file folder and cut that into the visor shape and glued it to the inside of the helmet.
Nice.
One that I really want to make, which was inspired by a cosplayer I met at my local convention I used to always go to, Animazement, is he was cosplaying Tom from Toonami, specifically Tom 3, my favorite Tom design. And I want to do that. I love Tom. And Tom 3 is the best Tom design. I will not hear arguments otherwise. You are entitled to your wrong opinion if you have a different Tom preference. It's also just the easiest one to cosplay because it's the most humanoid in design. As opposed to like Tom 1 where he's made out of spheres, or Tom 2 where he has like some angular joints.
I would argue the easiest cosplay to do ever would be a sim.
Yeah, I've seen people do that. They make the, I think it's called Plumb Bob, the little diamond thing. Like, they make that, and they have it, like, set so it's floating over their head. And that's what makes you a sim.
That's
I always love seeing creative...
you could ever make.
I always love seeing creative cosplays like that. One of my favorite cosplays I saw wasn't even a cosplay. It was just someone taking advantage of a celebrity resemblance that they have. It was this guy who looked uncannily like Tom Felton, the actor who played Draco Malfoy. So he made a sign that had a picture of Tom Felton on it, and he carried it with him, and also on the sign it said, Tom Felton look-alike. So that was his cosplay.
Nice.
Also,
Wizard used to do that with Kevin Smith.
Nice.
They had a sign that said, I'm not Kevin Smith, but for the right amount, I could be.
Another cool one that I saw was this guy that was dressed up as Arthur, you know, from the TV series Arthur.
The aardvark?
Yes. And he also carried like a cardboard frame with him that you could stand inside that had written on it, no one gets my cosplay, or something like that. It became a meme on social media.
Oh,
But I was
nice.
there when it happened. Also, Maria's sadly back to normal. Because
Aw.
this is what I'm talking about, where this mod doesn't always work.
Attention.
Hey,
The
JKR's
enemy,
here.
The Emperor of
We
Destruction.
were mentioning you.
Hey, Lord Megatron.
I mentioned earlier that you would have liked
Dome.
one of the Bio-Lizard mods that plays the Professor Gerald Death to Humanity speech.
Yep, but now you'll never get to see it because you weren't here. I'm kidding. That was mean.
Thank you, Shadow.
Oh, that was a mean running joke between me and him, involving my own stream. And I apologize for bringing it into yours.
Sorry for missing your stream today.
Hey,
Like I
look.
set up the bot to announce your streams, but I forgot to set it up to tag people when you go live.
Oh,
So I still need to do that.
Safe to hide.
But yeah, you're not going to need to announce your streams manually anymore in my server, because the bot will take care of that. Because it turns out I did have one slot left that had not been used yet.
oh, fun. Alright, is
So
that
I didn't have to remove anyone to have it announce you.
Why?
Because
don't
if you're using
I-
StreamCord like me, you get 5 slots for announcements for like channels for it to track for free. And if you want any more, you have to like pay their subscription fee. And I thought that I had used up all 5, but it turns out no, I'd only used 4. I'm trying to find my boy Big the Cat because he says
Lord
something
Megatron.
interesting at one point.
Lord Megatron, what year did I do Tactical Link?
True Prime, and I saw your ancestor, Ari. Depends on what you mean by my ancestor. I'm not even aware of my own heritage, apart from, you know, Count Orlok.
2015? That doesn't sound right. Okay, no, it was 2016. So why can't I find the picture?
Oh, you saw Count Orlok. So, did you ask him? When he's coming back with the milk and the cigarettes? Because he said that's what he was going to get, and then I never saw him again. No way, it was 2016.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I just saw, because I'm going through my C2E2 folders, trying to find this tactical link so that I can post it in the chat here, and I can't find it. I found my Scootaloo that I'm both proud of and not proud of at the same time.
Since you're here, I thought I would tell you, like, this has been on my mind for years. Like, literally about a decade now. It was the name of a Facebook group that Facebook's algorithm recommended me back in, like, 2014, 2015. I didn't join it, but the name of it stuck with me. Because it was a really creative name. It was a name for what I presume was, like, an adult bronies group called Lesbian Ponies 2 Electric Scootaloo.
That actually is awesome.
No, he was obsessed with this young German woman. He wasn't looking so good. I mean, he's never looked good to begin with. I didn't get my looks from my dad, okay? I have a mom, too. I just don't know what she looks like. Because I've never met her. All I know is that she was apparently a very beautiful, high elf, shaman. There's your lore. There's your bit of lore for the stream.
All right. Those are the two cosplays I mentioned this stream, and then a better look at the hook shot because of the picture. You can only see it hanging off of my belt. I'm very proud of that hook shot, and I'm pissed that it fell apart.
Yes, his lordship was looking very frail. I mean, he's just always been very, not very easy on the eyes. I got my powers from him, but I sure as hell didn't get my looks from him.
You like to fish?
Yes, I do like to fish big, and I would love to go fishing with you sometime. I haven't been fishing since I was a kid.
Same.
Seriously, while John St. John is always going to be my Big the Cat, because, you know, he was the original, and that's the one I was introduced to Big the Cat with, Kyle A. Bear is probably the best Big the Cat we've had, considering he doesn't go for the simpleton voice, but instead goes for, like, more of a country bumpkin. Which is what Big is supposed to be. Like, even John St. John will tell you that he did the wrong direction for his Big the Cat voice, which is why he doesn't remember how to do the Big the Cat voice anymore. But John St. John is, contrary to what a lot of people say, he's not ashamed of playing Big the Cat. It's just, he doesn't like the performance that he gave, and wishes he could have done it better.
That said, say no more, Lord Megatron, because I'm actually really wanting to see that movie, and I'm trying very hard to avoid any spoilers for it. Granted, fine, it's the story of Nosferatu. There's only so much they can do with it.
Well, actually, there's a lot they could do with it, considering the original Nosferatu was just Dracula with different names.
Yep. I just really want to see it, because I've heard nothing but good things. But at the same time, I'm trying to avoid hearing about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I'm the same way with a lot of stuff. Like, I was that way with Sonic 3.
I still can't believe they brought in Rouge the Bat only to kill her off.
I still can't believe that 99% of the movie's runtime was just her doing nude yoga.
I'm not.
I'm surprised that got away with a PG rating with that. I'm not disappointed at all.
That was the best part of the whole movie.
It was a throwback to the
the whole
days of,
movie.
like, Airplane, where you could show full frontal nudity in a PG movie.
Exactly. The love triangle between her, Sonic, and Big the Cat was a little weird, though. Could have done without that.
Yeah, that kind of goes into a bit of, like, fanficky territory. More like, you know, crackfic, now that I think about it.
Still surprised she chose Tails in the end, though.
I mean, there is a sizable amount of the fandom that ships her with Tails for absolutely degenerate reasons. I'm not even joking about that. There's a lot of...
The sad part is I know you're not.
It all stems from one scene in the anime Sonic X where it's like a tournament battle. Where she takes him out with a kiss. She gives him a kiss, and that, like, you know, distracts him. And with that, it spawned decades-long shipping stuff that is horrible.
I mean, let's be fair. the Sonic fandom. Would we have it any other way?
I mean, it's not the worst stuff to come out of the Sonic fandom. The Sonic fandom has given us a lot of absolutely horrid stuff, unfortunately. If you've ever seen that picture of Tails sitting on a park bench, you know that something horrible's about to happen.
God.
Oh yeah, it changed. I forgot. Part of the Snapcube references mod is it changes the name of Kingdom Valley to Tilted Towers.
Oh, God. Hello, random Fortnite reference.
It was in the Snapcube improv fan dub of Sonic 06. Where Mephiles the Dark, they recontextualized him as, rather than, you know, being a demonic entity dedicated to wiping out all of time and space, he was a Fortnite addict.
God. Can't relate.
And, like, since you first meet him in Shadow Story in, Kingdom Valley, he says, "Welcome to Tilted Towers."
I still give Fortnite all the credit for the balls that they have with a lot of their collaborations.
Oh, hell yeah. Now, the execution in some of them is very off. Like, the Godzilla collab was horrible.
Godzilla collab hasn't even happened yet.
No, I mean, the Godzilla skin was horrible.
Yeah. Wait till you see the Donkey Kong one, my guy.
I hate it already.
It leaked. It's not good. I'm buying it.
Also, the Peter Griffin one was shit, considering that they did the giant chicken better almost immediately after.
Well, the Peter Griffin one, I understand why they did the way they did it, because Peter Griffin himself would be too much of a target.
But then they did the giant chicken right. So...
Right, and he's literally considered one of the shittiest skins in the game because he's a giant target.
Well, yeah, but I'm not looking at it from the perspective of, like,
right.
Oh, how is this going to affect gameplay? Because, you know, depending on the skin you choose, you're going to stick out more if you're, like, a character that doesn't blend in well with the environment inherently.
Right. Like I said, I'm not saying anything against, you know, the giant chicken skin, how they did it. They did it perfectly. But
at the very least, I can give them credit for not just making up Muscular Peter, because that was a thing in an early episode of Family Guy.
Exactly. Like, and I understand them doing that, you know, was because people were basically demanding Peter at that point. Like, they were like, okay, quit teasing us, give us Peter. So they were like, well, look, we can't because he'd be too much of a fucking target. What are we gonna do? So they made the Muscular Peter skin, and honestly, I don't hate them for it. I
just wish that they had done, like, that they had later done a regular Peter instead of just having Muscular Peter.
Well, there's still time.
Yeah, there's still time. It's just, I wish it had happened sooner.
Yeah. They've said they're going back to a lot of, like, the older battle passes and coming out with alternative versions of the skins you can't get anymore. Like, they have, at some point, animated Lara Croft is coming out.
Oh, nice.
And a version of Mandalorian is coming out. So it's not like they're not, you know, gonna just give up on it. There is still time where they can do a
more faithful Peter Griffin.
Yeah, a more faithful Peter Griffin. Hell, they're still supposed to be bringing Quagmire in because they said Quagmire was going to be a skin, but we never saw it. So maybe they'll do it like alongside, you know, Fat Peter.
You know who they could theoretically do? that's not from Family Guy, but is just a meme at this point. Because the guy that owns the copyright to this, like, really obscure character is totally up for licensing it out just for meme purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy Freaker.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I have to show you Freddy Freaker after the stream's over.
It's not who I think it is it?
No, it's from an ad for, like, one of those, like, 1980s, like, hotlines you would see ads for on MTV. Where it's, like, call 1-900 whatever, and you can, like, talk to a fictional character or hear a message from a fictional character. And Freddy Freaker was the mascot for a hotline called the Freak Phone.
Oh, God.
And it had a jingle sung by Stan Bush.
Oh, God.
Now, we don't know 100% that's Stan Bush, because no one's asked him yet. But if I ever, for whatever reason, get to meet Stan Bush, I'm gonna show him the Freddy Freaker jingle and be like, do you remember making this, or are we just, you know, barking up the wrong tree?
I do know they did say that they are eventually going to do more Transformers, too.
I'll also be like, if I ever get to, like, go to a Transformers convention where Stan Bush performs a concert, and if he decides to take requests, I'm gonna ask him to play the Freak Phone jingle.
God.
I just want to see that in a live setting. It's the Freak Phone, and he's a putty freak. Freddy Freaka, dancing new sensation, scamming the nation, doing the freak call now. 1-900-490-FREAK.
You know, if they got to bring in old mascots, you know who they need to bring in? Simply for the memes of him being in Fortnite. The Noid.
Yes. I mean, Domino's brought back the Noid a couple years ago. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yep. But they need to bring him back just so you can say, hey, it's we're playing Fortnite. It's time to avoid the Noid.
You know the reason that they stopped using the Noid advertisements back in the day, right? And why Domino's kind of tried to protect...
It was something to do with, like, some guy actually had that name or something?
Yeah, it was a man named Kenneth Noid, who was, like, a paranoid schizophrenic, and thought, and was, like, really into, like, conspiracy theories about, like, shadow governments and the New World Order and stuff like that. And he saw advertisements featuring the Noid for Domino's, and he thought that they were making fun of him, so he went to his local Domino's and held the employees hostage at gunpoint.
Yep.
Thankfully, no one was hurt in the process, and he was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
But
they had to stop
that immediately led to a lot of, you know, newspapers who thought they were real clever, putting headlines out saying Domino's couldn't avoid the Noid, and Domino's saw how this was a PR disaster for them because their mascot was now associated with a violent maniac. So they discontinued the Noid commercials and tried to pretend the Noid had never existed. Up until recently. I learned that from a Rebel Taxi video, of all things.
Kier says he also wants Bubsy in Fortnite. Why don't you join us, Kier? I mean,
yeah, you can join us.
Going to be wrapping it up.
If you're
wrapping it up shortly-ish, but
maybe we still got we're about like halfway done, but
that's fair.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were gonna play through the whole game in one sitting or not.
I mean, I still need to see what you did to my girl Rouge, so
yeah, that's going to be not this boss, but the boss after that. I'm a bit sick and only ate breakfast, so heating food up, also cold AF. You stay warm, Kier. I know it's hard for you to stay warm, but I want you to stay warm. Use that heater we got you and those blankets that JKR got you.
Don't make me use flamethrower on you.
You get all nice and toasty. Like, the reason he's having trouble staying warm is because his heating doesn't work. And it hasn't worked for over a year.
I was just going along with the stay warm thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I could use flamethrower on you if you want, but
You could build him a fireplace. The problem is it's not contained.
all right, hold on, I'll get me flamethrower.
You said that like Eustace saying that he's going to get me mallet.
Yep, that was the plan.
I love it. One of the toggles that I need to get Sheba to finish drawing sometime, because technically the 2D model she made for me was incomplete. But, you know, I had sort of a deadline, and I was okay with having it incomplete.
Nothing's flame proof. Everything has a boiling point. It's just a matter of finding it.
But one of the toggles that I wanted her to give to it was me holding a cartoonish, like, Harley Quinn styled mallet.
Nice.
So, like, if someone makes me angry, I can have a toggle that starts with me saying, "That's it, I'm getting me mallet!"
Do it.
Stupid dog, you didn't tell me that voting for the Jaguars eating my face party would get my face eaten. This is one of my favorite Dubus Goobus animations, partly because he does not just a perfect Eustace and Courage impression, but a perfect Muriel impression, too.
What's weird about Dubus Goobus is he does a good impression of just about everybody he does.
Yep. The only time I can think of where, the only times I can think of where he got outside voice actors to do stuff were, for some of his Sonic animations. He got someone else, to do the voice
Amy.
of Rouge. He got someone else to do Blaze. And he got Gianni Matrong, God, I forget his name. The Duke Nukem meme guy, to do the voice of Big the Cat.
No, that's right. He did do Amy himself.
Yeah, he did Amy himself. What's funny is that the voice actress he got to voice Rouge the Bat is mostly known for some not safe for work stuff.
I mean,
and he got
it's
her.
Goobus.
And the animation that Rouge debuted in is her becoming a nun after seeing what kind of degenerate fans she has on the internet.
Yep. To this day, I'm still mad at myself that I didn't buy that damn plushie.
Yeah, I am too. Mad at myself, rather, not mad at you. I know that Skylar has the plushie. She has a lot of cool stuff. She bought the official, one of the official Fifi bedroom toys, which I really wanted.
To be fair, though, at the same time that plushie came out, there was also a car latch from Baldur's Gate plushie, and it kind of took priority.
I've missed out on a lot of cool merch from creators that I like, mostly because I just they announce it when I happen to be broke.
Oh, dude, you want to talk shit? I'm pissed I missed out on the Kid Icarus U2's figure.
You want to talk shit that I'm pissed I missed out on? Every time that Flork of Cows re-releases the Stop Watching Anime and Get a Job t-shirt, I always don't have the money for it.
How many times have they re-released it?
Like every year around November he re-releases it, and every time I happen to be broke.
Okay.
But yeah, I had one. It was an unofficial one. You could tell by the low print quality. And I would wear it to anime conventions. And people always loved it because it's like one of his sock puppet characters strumming an acoustic guitar, like he's supposed to be singing a song, and it says, "Stop watching anime and get a job."
Mm-hmm. I recall the shirt.
Also, yes, Kier, Rouge being afraid of the bicycle pump. Do not mention the bike pump! Can we talk about how
I'm trying
one
to
of the
think.
most unhinged, but also, like, genuinely impressive Doobas Goobas animations he ever made was the one of Sonic meeting Sonichu?
Oh God, yes. And it,
Not
it
just
ends-
because
it
of the
ends-
nature of it, but also because he does an uncannily good Chris Chan impression.
Isn't that the one that ends with him saying, "This is a real thing. I don't even know how to end this."
It's not just that. It's like, I don't know how to end this. I just found out that he got out of prison. He's free.
This guy's out there right now.
For the record, Chris Chan ended up being found guilty of the crimes he committed, but he ended up not having to serve jail time because they decided that he had spent enough time in jail waiting to be sentenced that it qualified as time spent in jail as punishment. So he's just out there again.
Anyway. I'm trying to think what the Flork of Cows merch I missed out on is that I'm pissed about.
I also missed out on the Stein that he sold that had a flip top on it that looked like one of the sock puppets. I missed out on all the sock puppet plushes, of course.
Yeah.
Like the tiny
wanted
wife
the
or
caveman one.
Charlie, of course. Charlie Go Taco Bell.
I wanted the caveman one.
Oh yeah, Ung. All right, here's where another mod's going to kick in. This one's more visual. Basically, it just redoes Metal Overlord to look like Metal Sonic Kai from Knuckles Chaotix.
Oh God.
There we go.
Oh God. It's terrifying and I love it.
Did Flork ever do the witch? I don't think he's done any plushies or anything like that of Malfina the witch.
I don't think he's ever done any merch of the Malfina the Witch.
If he does do merch of Malfina the witch, it needs to be sold in a 2-pack with Clark. You know, it wouldn't be Malfina without Connecticut Clark.
Oh, biscuits. Or it's beans, isn't it? Wasn't that her like thing?
I don't know, because it's been a while since I've read it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he's done the witch. Or I should say they. Isn't Flork of Cows more than one person?
No, Florka Cows is one person.
See, what I love about Flork of Cows is how they can be, he can be like absolutely fucking unhinged. Like, what the hell am I reading one day, and the next be wholesome as fuck and one of the most beautiful comics you could read.
Yes, and that's why we love him.
Like, he's just like beyond unhinged. One day, saying the most random, what the fuck am I reading shit. Like, you never know if it's going to be NSFW or just beautiful. Or an ongoing story.
He's also, like, unintentionally given us some of the best, like, meme templates out there.
Right.
Like, one of my favorites doesn't even come from Flork. It was from a fan comic that he shared. Where it's, like, in the context that it was in, it was like a sock puppet husband and wife. And the wife is like, do you want to make a baby? And the husband says yes. And then she's like, okay. And then she starts knitting a new sock. And then he looks angry at her and says, I expected sex. And the meme template that people use is just like, as a response image, they have the I expected sex. I have completely fucked up this boss fight, but I don't care. I've missed out on all the ways to end it early. But I'm at least gonna do the cool finisher that you get with a full chaos control bar. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring it up. Flork of cows. I was gonna bring up the one he did the other day that I think all of us here would appreciate. And that's where the girl's at the doctor and he says, listen, I'm not here to judge, but how did you get beloved hero of the 90s Vector Man stuck up in your womb? He can change into so many interesting things. Just the fact that someone acknowledges Vector Man. That's why I love Flork of Cows, because he will bring up shit that you didn't think of for years.
Yeah.
Vector Man is a game that right now, I don't think there's a proper way to actually play it.
There is.
Because, well, they closed down the classics thing, didn't they? You can't get it on streaming anymore.
Yeah, you can't get it on Steam anymore, but, well, you can't buy
Steam,
the
but
classic. You can't buy the classics collection anymore, but that just means they're about to put out another collection of Genesis games. And it's been re-released tons of ways in the past that's easy to get a hold of.
I feel a connection to the symbol in the sky. It's the same.
Like, we are not at a loss for ways to play Vector Man officially.
Right.
Grandfather?
And then
It might be,
it might
be, yeah, Kier's right, that might be on the Switch Online expansion pass for the Genesis collection. We'll have to check because the Genesis collection, like, almost never. The Genesis collection almost never gets updated. It just got its first update in over a year recently.
Right. Well, I mean, they've kind of given up on the emulators in general, except for like every once in a blue moon, they'll be like, oh yeah, we should put games on this shit.
Well, that's how they've always been.
Yeah.
But, like with the Sega Genesis stuff in particular, it's a weird selection of games because they don't have Sonic 1 on there, but they do have Sonic 2.
So when that alien
Doesn't have Sonic 3 as well?
Nope.
I don't. Weird.
I accept it.
Sonic 3 doesn't get re-released a lot because there's music rights issues with it. Because parts of the soundtrack were composed by Michael Jackson and his team.
Perfect warrior for him. So these new abilities are all part of his grand design.
For the longest time, we thought that was just a rumor that was unsubstantiated, until Yuji Naka himself went on Twitter one day, saw the replacement music that they put in Sonic Origins, and said, oh my god, they replaced the Michael Jackson music.
Take over your body and be reborn.
Just confirming on Twitter out of the blue, this thing that Sega themselves were so coy about acknowledging.
Black Doom is a fool. I'll take this power and use it as my own.
I wouldn't say Expansion Pass feels like a scam because you're getting a good value for like Game Boy Advance and N64. The Sega Genesis part of it feels like an afterthought. You're also getting, as I discovered, thanks to you buying me that copy of Mario Kart 8, you get sort of like rental access to expansion content for other games, including Mario Kart 8. So I was able to do like the booster course tracks with you guys without me having to buy the DLC with money that I didn't have.
Does Maria have her face over there?
Yeah, she has her regular face.
Ah, so the mod.
Like the
broke
mod
then.
breaks around the halfway point, and if you reload the game, it'll start working again.
I just feel like JKR needed to witness it just once, but that's fine.
Kier's already seen it from the botched attempt at this that I did. Let's see what Big has to say, because he has a lot of interesting lore to drop. I don't like that big robot
You
monster
shot
guy.
him for a second there.
Oh, he's seen it. JKR says he's seen Mario Maria.
Oh, God.
He kidnapped Froggy before and was awfully mean to my friends. Wait, do you think he took Froggy again? Please, you gotta save him. He's just the best boy.
Again, it'll be an absolute crime if he doesn't show up in the next movie. And we
I
don't
heard
get
about
some...
those strange-looking folks, the Black Arms. I heard they invaded Earth and tried to eat everyone. I don't know why. Fish are much easier to catch. Tell them I'll catch all the fish they want. Maybe then they'll calm down? Big, you are just the most innocent and pure soul. Oh sure, I've been to Soliana before. Sonic 06 lore drop? What?
Oh, wow.
Soliana is where Sonic 06 takes place.
Wow.
Lots of water, lots of great places to fish. Froggy ran off into the palace while we were there. We met the princess. She was very nice. This is the first time that Princess Elise has been officially recognized in Sonic media since 2006.
Weird flex here, but you know who my other choice for Big the Cat would be?
Who?
How do you say his last name? David Dostamalchian.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Have you ever seen the Suicide Squad?
Nope.
I was gonna say he was Polka Dot Man in that.
I'm on
JKR would know him. JKR would know him as Dr. Fearless in Svengoli.
When you brought up Vin Diesel playing him, I started thinking, like, I'm not even thinking, like, you know, him doing a Groot-type performance. I'm thinking, like, Iron Giant.
Right, yeah.
So he would be perfect for the role.
I think
sort of like how for a while people, including Paramount themselves, wanted The Rock to play Knuckles until we saw how good Idris Elba was.
Incidentally, I feel like if they can't get Vin Diesel, then Dwayne Johnson would be like the best second choice.
I'm not sure if I could see that as much.
To be fair, he wouldn't have to do much.
Yeah, and we know that nowadays The Rock likes to do as little as possible.
Now, I will say this. Red 1 actually wasn't that bad of a movie. It was
to my understanding, it's not so much that it was a horrible movie, it's just that it absolutely tanked at the box office.
Yep, because nobody knew it was coming out. They did no advertising for it whatsoever. And that's when it finally came to Amazon Prime for free for the holiday season, is when it finally picked up a fan base, because people were like, oh, this is actually a good movie.
Speaking of holiday movies that we saw this year, I finally saw Klaus for the first time.
Klaus?
The Netflix exclusive, really beautiful animated movie about the origin of Santa Claus. Like, genuinely beautiful 2D animation, with some parts of it are obviously CG, but it's so well done that it doesn't look jarring with the usual difference between hybrid 2D and 3D animation. And like the ending of it like brought me to tears. It's so beautiful, and not just its animation but storytelling. Its story is not just like, telling the origin of Santa Claus. It's also got the message of the post office is important. And, the usual stuff about, like, cultural traditions are not always something you necessarily need to adhere to if they only cause trouble. But yeah, if you haven't seen Klaus, you need to. It's on Netflix.
I will keep that in mind.
It's also one of the last movies that Norm Macdonald worked on, and he does a stellar job. Oh my god, what did they do for... What'd they do for the Doom Morph? It's the submarine! The submarine from Dragon Ball, holy shit.
Oh,
like OG Dragon Ball.
God.
Isn't that like Emperor Pilaf's submarine or something like that? Holy shit.
It has been years. I don't remember.
Or is that the USS Medic?
It's been
That's the
years.
sub Bulma had? Okay, because I didn't watch much of OG Dragon Ball. I'm hoping that's the USS Medic.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite gags in Team 4-Star, by the way, even though it has nothing to do with the overarching story, just like in the ruined future timeline that Future Trunks comes from, cutting to Master Roshi, Poir, and Oolong cooped up in a submarine for years. And Master Roshi just randomly brings up mid-conversation that the name of the submarine is the USS Medic. And then he says, by the way, no. How do you like riding Medic? 17 years! You've been holding on to that for 17 years! I am a very patient man. And you didn't answer my question, pig. It's tight and damp.
Team 4-Star, man. Fuck, man. I miss them sometimes.
They're still around. They're still around, and they're still making Dragon Ball content with Hiffle and Dragon Shorts. It's just they don't do Dragon Ball Z Abridged anymore because they got burnt out on it, and it wasn't like feasible to keep continuing it if Toei was going to keep copyright striking their channel every time they did something. Because they're trying to run a business now, and if their main series is something that's putting their channel in jeopardy, then it makes business sense to move on to something that Toei can't claim copyright on.
Right.
Which is also the reason that we're probably never going to redo a Digimon Frontier, because Toei owns that too.
Again, fully understandable. And honestly, there are other projects I would rather move on to.
Yeah, I'm also just not as into Digimon as I was in that period, so I don't have that same drive for it.
Okay, so I might be wrong. There's a sub that's red with the number 19. IDK if that Bulma's sub.
Like I said,
General Blue, I think his
whenever
name
you guys
was.
need me, I'm fully ready to return to Transformers Abridged. Whenever you guys.
That depends on when I get around to editing the episode we're already on, which I've had on the back burner for like 4 years now, because I just have not gotten into that mindset that I need for a bridge series editing. And I've told Cringivore, our director, because in the time since you worked on Transformers Armada Bridged, and now I've passed on the title of director to Cringivore because he was basically doing all the directing duties already, as well as all the writing, so I felt like I should hand the reins to him. But I've already told him that, like, whenever I get around to editing this episode, this is going to be the last one that I edit, because I just can't take on this workload anymore. It's too much for me to deal with. Because, like, I'm also a student now, so, like, I'm a student, and, like, I've had to deal with, like, moving, and I've had, like, various just stuff come up in my life that makes it so I can't dedicate several days at a time to meticulously lip-syncing and editing and re-editing anime footage anymore.
Well, like I told JKR, you know, whenever you guys need it, I'm fully ready to do the Tidal Wave voice again, as well as Tidal Wave's inner monologue.
Yeah, we've already recast Tidal Wave, but we still have characters that need to be filled, and I think you would be a good Thrust.
Good Thrust?
Yeah, because Thrust already has a voice that's naturally very much like yours. Like, your James voice, I think, would be good for Thrust.
Oh.
Because he's like a very foppish character, but he's also a schemer.
Nice. I'll voice him just because the name's Thrust.
Yeah.
Because Thrust was like one of the only parts. I know it's not the same character, mind you, but one of the only parts of Beast Machines I actually liked.
Yeah, this was for, like, if you're not familiar with the Unicron trilogy, it was, the naming schemes for characters came from a period where, like, Hasbro wasn't all about brand unification like they are now, and would just, like, slap random names on random characters just to keep their trademarks active.
Isn't he like a motorcycle or a jet?
He is a jet. The motorcycle one is Sideways, who I'm playing. But he's a jet. He shows up later in the series and becomes, like, funnily enough, he's more of a Starscream than Starscream is, because he's scheming against Megatron.
I'm more than honored to play the part, then. Fuck yeah. You got your thrust. And I will never say that to you again.
He also gets one of the most brutal death scenes in Transformers history.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is going to be fun to voice act. Because he gets killed by being squished in between Unicron while he's transforming.
I have a way to go with it, but I don't know how much you want.
Well, it depends on what Cringivore writes for the script.
Right. Because my brain just immediately went to... Hold on. Let me put my munchies down. My brain just, like, immediately went to, instead of him being, like angry or whatever that he's dying, because you want him as, like, the foppish James.
Well, I don't have a... I'm talking about how he's written in the original series. Right. I haven't, like, come up with a specific character profile for him yet in our series Bible.
Oh, yes, I'm finally inside of Unicron!
Again, it'll depend on how the writing for it goes.
That's fair.
Like we've already decided on like what Sideways' whole thing is going to be, since he's a very major character for Armada. So we had to decide that early on.
That's fair.
We're also trying to find like what episodes we can avoid abridging, because so much of like Transformers Armada is a weird series where most of the first story arc is filler, but at the same time you can't just gloss over it, because it sets up stuff. Like, it's filler that sets up stuff that becomes important later down the line.
Right.
So it's a case of like, how do we avoid doing a like every single episode gets adapted one at a time thing and takes forever, and
okay. JK
doesn't
set
bog down
again.
Well, it's a good. Shadow the Hedgehog Sega says, "Hello, Shadow the Hedgehog Sega. I love your username. As a fan of both Shadow the Hedgehog and Sega, I hope you enjoy the mods on display for tonight." We're getting into level mods in probably a second stream of this, because the current mod set, like, with level mods, you can't do them on a first-time playthrough, or else it'll break progression, because of the challenge stages that are required to access the boss levels. But yeah, I'm a very big Shadow fan. I'm gonna be voicing him in an IDW Sonic fan dub. And by the way,
yes,
I wanted to since like now we have Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow, I have to start practicing my Keanu Reeves Shadow impersonation for the Ultimate Lifeform redeems, because people could potentially request that too.
Indeed.
Like, the best I've got right now is like, you're a colorful bunch.
That's not bad, actually.
We'll make guac. Revenge guac.
I actually wanted to see more of that dynamic. Without getting into, like, any spoilers, I really wanted to see more of that whole... just those two together scenes.
Yeah.
But
I'm still happy with what they did overall. There are a few things that I wish they had done a little bit differently, but that doesn't ruin the experience for me without getting into spoilers.
But speaking of the comic dub, me and JKR really need to sit down and, like, write out the script for issue 2.
Yeah, because what I like, speaking from like a creator, like a content creator standpoint, it's more efficient if you get people recording like multiple episodes at once and then have them edited down the line than it is to like do them one at a time.
Well, I was thinking like we could like sit down at some point and write out issues 2 through 5. Because that's what like introduces all the characters in it.
Okay, we just got a Keanu Reeves request.
Uh-oh.
From Kier.
Here we go.
I am Vegeta, the ultimate Saiyan Chog. Final Chaos Control Flash! You're now craving a sandwich from Latin America. Because as you know, I just love Latinas. That part was my little ad lib.
That was awesome.
Like, Keanu Reeves' performance is very similar to Jason Griffith's. So, like, I have to, like, train myself not to slip into my Jason Griffith when trying to sound like Keanu Reeves' Shadow.
I mean, it makes sense because he did a lot of, like, studying the character before he even... Like, before he even 100% agreed to, like, even sign on.
Like, you just heard my Keanu Reeves, whereas my Jason Griffith, which is the one that you wanted me to use for the comic dub, is more like, it's a bit more down here in the lower register. while also having a little bit of that breathiness to it.
I mean, shit, I'll be honest. It takes a while for Shadow to even show up in the comic. We just decide halfway down the road for you to just switch to Keanu Reeves. Who knows?
And then, I've already recorded
Really
my, Neo Metal Sonic. Obviously. But, for the people that, haven't heard my Neo Metal Sonic, which is everyone outside of the dub, I decided to go, like, this was before Metal Sonic had new voice acting in this game when I recorded it. So I didn't base it off of Ray Chase's Neo Metal Sonic. I based it off of the way that Ryan Drummond did it in the English dub of Sonic Heroes, which is basically doing like a more sinister take on Sonic and then pitching it down and modulating it in post. So like unfiltered, it would be something like all life form data has been copied.
To be honest, that's kind of what I want Neo Sonic to sound like.
And then
Metal.
And then I pitch it down in post because he had his voice pitched down in Sonic Heroes.
Right.
I just pitch it down very slightly, not so much that it's like a booming deep bass. And then I put like a metallic filter over it.
You want to know something funny that JKR is going to kick my ass for?
What?
My Dr. Starline voice is literally just me doing an impression of his voice for Professor Fuji.
Oh, nice. Because Dr. Starline, you know, still doesn't have an official voice, but one of my favorite takes that I've heard on him came from a video that Falero did on Twitter that I can't find anymore because Twitter's impossible to find specific things on now from years ago. It was like an animation that he did of like, what if instead of Dr. Starline dying, he ended up in a different Sonic universe and sought out that universe's Robotnik? And the universe
Starline dies.
What?
I didn't know that Dr. Starline dies.
Or at least I think that's what happens. Keep in mind, I haven't read the comics. I just know he stops appearing at some point.
Right. I'm not mad, to be perfectly honest. It's not a spoiler thing.
But basically it's like, what if when he stops appearing, he just wound up in a different Sonic universe, and the Sonic universe he ended up in was Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Oh, God.
So he meets up with Scratch and Grounder, trying to find that universe's Robotnik. And it's like, Who are you? And what do you want? I am Dr. Starline. I'm looking for this universe's Dr. Robotnik. Dr. Robotnik? What is it? There's someone here that wants to see you. Tell him to fuck off.
I am Dr. Starline. I am looking for Dr. Robotnik. Or I am looking for this universe's Dr. Robotnik. Yeah, it's literally just an impression. It's literally just my impression of JKR doing Dr. Fuji.
Okay. You're going a little more Russian than German with it.
You can wait until my business is finished.
Yeah, sorry, but that Chaos Emerald
Am we?
have a date with a monster.
Yeah, like, Russian is more like putting a tap on the R's and speaking in this kind of register. Whereas German is more like, you speak like this and, you know, a little bit more of a sort of jovial sound to it. Because you want to sound, you know, affably evil. You sound, how you say, friendly, but hiding the malice behind it, yeah?
I'll have to work on it a little bit more.
Keep in mind, that's not all what a real German accent sounds like. But if you're going for, like, you know, a mad scientist German accent, that's the kind of, like, register that you typically want to go in.
Yeah.
Nice hustle, but I won this one. So I'm taking the emerald. See ya!
I am looking for this universe's Dr. Damn it. I am looking for this universe's Dr. Robotnik, yeah?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, here comes Rouge. This is where you're gonna see the mod for her, after this cutscene, because this is pre-rendered.
What happened?
I will be on terms or not at all.
A fine time for you to be honorable. Now he has the Chaos Emerald.
No, he has a fake emerald.
Let me guess, that was aimed at Furret.
Wow, look at you.
You missed! Yeah.
I approve.
There she is!
Where's my Batgirl? Where's she at? Let me see her. My tail is swishing.
This is an actual costume she had in Sonic Adventure 2 for the Dreamcast.
That is gorgeous.
Yep, she had a lot of very sexy outfits.
I mean, it's Rouge. Are we surprised?
That was also the game where she had jiggle physics.
If you'll excuse me, I have a game to look up.
If you get Sonic Adventure 2 on Steam, where it regularly goes on sale for like $5, it's easy to mod, and you can mod in the Dreamcast DLC costumes for her. And there's also a mod that lets you adjust the jiggle physics to your liking to make them either less prominent or more prominent.
Oh, God.
As well as a mod that lets you adjust her proportions to make her increasingly more thick.
I like my girl how she is. I'll be honest. I'll be fair and honest.
Well, she's also drawn with slightly... I say drawn, modeled, with slightly different proportions in Sonic Adventure 2, because it was her first appearance. Sega did not delist Sonic Adventure 2, my dude. They delisted Sonic Generations. And either way, with the bundle, it gets cheaper the more games in the collection you already own, and it's already a good deal to get all those games. Plus, Sega's bundles of Sonic games always go on sale frequently. So it's not like you can't get Sonic Adventure 2 anymore. It's just like, if it is in the bundle, then okay, you pay for a bundle price and you get basically every 3D Sonic game on Steam. Except for, like, the more recent ones. So it's a good deal. It's only like $60.
For some reason, that reminds me that I just really need to do an actual playthrough of Frontiers again.
But yeah, like I was saying, she was modeled slightly differently. I say slightly differently. Very differently in Sonic Adventure 2, because it was her first appearance. First of all, like, her chest piece is modeled more like it's a cloth thing. So it's like more form-fitting rather than being a chest plate. So it fits to her body a lot more tightly, and also her boobs are exaggeratedly huge.
I was just gonna say, damn girl, what them polygons do.
Yeah, it's there's a reason that they had to tone down her proportions and design for a lot of future stuff. Because Sonic Adventure 2, like, they were just full-on horny with how they did her. Even her...
Oh, they've admitted to that, too.
Even her... Both of her two-player outfits, depending on which version you're playing, either the Dreamcast version or any of the later ports. In the Dreamcast version, her alternate two-player outfit is a dominatrix outfit. And her alternate two-player outfit in every other version is, like, a really skimpy, like, tank top and booty shorts. So yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 is what you want if you want some good Rouge action, especially since it's one of the only games in the mainline series where she's playable. And she's voiced by Lonnie Manella in that one, and she's my favorite Rouge. Like, I like Lonnie Manella's Rouge, not just out of pure nostalgia, although that is a big part of it, but also because she plays up a lot of Rouge's, like, bratty and playful sides rather than just sounding seductive. Although, to be fair, they play a lot of how Rouge was voice acted in later games by later actresses doesn't necessarily have to do with, like, the quality of the actress themselves. It's more about, like, just how Sonic Team decided to write her. Where they decided, like, oh, instead of having her be, like, a character with a lot of these dimensions to her, she's just going to be the fan service character. Like, shit on Sonic 06 as much as you want for having a very messy story, but Shadow's story in it has some of the best writing of Team Dark, showing that they are genuinely, like, friends to the end. Even if they don't want to admit it. Also, it has, like, one of my favorite animation mistakes in it that you could probably think was intentional if you didn't know how the animation for the game was done, which is, like, in a lot of the cutscenes in Shadow's story in Sonic 06, because the models are not very expressive with how they're rigged, half the time it looks like Shadow's just staring at Rouge's chest.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I don't blame him. I like my short stacks.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna say it. There comes a time where a guy's gotta, you know, take a step back and look at his life and say, am I really getting turned on by a cartoon bat? And then laugh and giggle as he gets turned on by the cartoon bat.
By the way, would you like to hear one of the mods I discovered for Rouge that I think is funny? In this game, at least?
Sure.
Like, there was a lot of really stupid, like, you know, angry gooner, grifter type controversy about Rouge being very slightly retextured in this game to cover up, like, basically all they were saying, like, oh my god, they censored Rouge the Bat's model. How dare they? They're trying to erase beautiful women in Sonic. And I'm like, the only thing they did was add, like, a little bit more material to her back, so it doesn't expose, like, a tiny portion of her back. And you guys are throwing a shit fit over that. But there's a mod on Game Banana, which is where I get all my Sonic mods, because that's where most of them are hosted, that's called Fixed Rouge.
Oh, God.
And what it claims to be the solution to all the bullshit anger issues that people are having. And what it does is, rather than, you know, it's a joke mod.
Right.
Like, the preview image for it is censored as if it's not safe for work. But what it does is, rather than making it show more skin like they want, it covers up all of her exposed skin with fur.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. That's beautiful. Oddly enough, as a furry, I would not care.
I would, because I don't want to get fur in my mouth when I'm doing my thing.
The weird part with me is I love Rouge, but I do find her, like, how her body is kind of weird.
Like, we've seen in various outfits that she's had throughout the series that she only has fur on her head, which means, like...
Right.
Which means, like, based on how other characters appear in Sonic, that means either she only grows fur on her head, or she meticulously shaves every inch of her body.
That, or my theory on her has always been that she's not a white bat per se. She's like a mix of a brown bat and a white bat, and that's just her fur is naturally tan colored. Like,
I mean, that's probably how they would do it in a. If she appeared in one of the movies, that's probably how they would do it, considering like the skin parts of like the muzzle on Sonic and Shadow and Knuckles. In the games, it's flesh, but in the movies, it's like a tan-colored fur.
Right. As I said, that's how I've always kind of... Like, that's honestly mentally how I've always kind of envisioned Rouge, is that she just has tan-colored fur.
See, I could see that if they were to, like, texture it that way, like, with the texture work, it's clear that it's supposed to be skin.
Right.
But you could interpret it that way, and it would be completely valid for, fan art purposes, or, like, your own interpretation of the character, because fan art and fan stuff is 9 times out of 10 valid.
Well, I mean, it's like, to give an example, the character, like, literally, about any furry character in the world, actually, you very rarely see them ever actually, like, textualize fur itself in animation. Yeah. Like, for example, Luna, she's covered in fur, but your brain sees it and thinks she just has white skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's because fur is... Like, speaking from a, like, animation perspective, fur is very hard to, like, do a proper texture detail for because of how it looks in real life. So they usually skimp on the details in fur and make it clear by just, like, accentuating major parts of the character design in the fur. Like with Luna, the parts that would be hair on a human are like a wolf's mane for her.
Right.
Or like tufts of fur coming out around like arms and legs is another thing that they usually do. But putting in the detail of like drawing each strand of fur usually isn't done in animation or even comic art just because it's too time consuming. And that results in what you're talking about, where it has the effect of basically just looking and being presented like it's skin.
Right. Sorry if I just ruined Rouge the Bat for everybody out there, but still want to smash.
I'm still not a furry, by the way.
You're not a furry, but...
Yes, I'm not a furry, but Rouge the Bat is one of the universally accepted exceptions to, like, okay, you can not be a furry and still be attracted to this character. It's like that, Lola Bunny, and Sally Acorn. And now Luna.
Yeah, I was going to say Luna Wolf is also one now considered... Or Luna... What the fuck is Blitzo's last name?
I still haven't seen Helvabosaur has.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't think they've ever actually given Luna or Blitz an actual last name. God damn it. Why is it every damn stream I go into some kind of rabbit hole?
It's called having autism. I say this as someone with autism.
There is no fucking way this is true. Apparently, Luna's full name is Luna Luna Sukigaru. When the fuck was that ever mentioned? I know you don't know.
With me having no understanding of the context for any of this stuff, it sounds like a thing to me from when Radical Soda was doing a review of Sonic Lost World, and he came across one of the Zeddy named Master Zik, and he forgot Master Zik's name because the Deadly Six / Zeddy are just such one-note characters in Sonic Lost World that it's easy to forget their names. Because their entire personalities are just, each one has a stereotype that they fill. With Master Zik being the wise old Kung Fu master. And he went to look up Master Zik's name, just to remind himself of what it is. And the result they got said that his name was Master Zikin My Ass.
Oh, God.
Which is not true, but it's hilarious.
JKR would like to tell you they redeemed a voice line.
Oh, you redeemed a voice line. I didn't see that. Long John Baldry, okay. Accounts payable. 1 in 1 hour. Shadow the Hedgehog. Excommunicado. I have no idea what any of that means, but I hope that satisfied you. All right, time for another mod, 2 more mods to kick in.
But looking it up, apparently
it's from John Wick 2.
What?
Okay. He said it's from John Wick 2. I still haven't seen John Wick. Anyways, get ready.
John, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know this was gonna happen. Goku Black. Holy shit, that's so creative. Okay, 3 mods are kicking in.
God. Anyway, looking it up, apparently at some point somebody asked Vibsy Pop at
Memphis, Tennessee.
It's so good to see you. Please.
Thank you, separate mod that adds in the Snapcube voice lines.
Okay. Looking it up. That was awesome, by the way. Looking it up. Apparently, at some point during a convention, somebody got asked Vibsy Pop, what is Luna and Blitzo's last name? She said that she's never really thought about it for Blitzo, but for Luna it would be Tsutsi Taragaru. So that's not actually her last name, it's just something Vibsy said at some point.
My name is Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm part lizard.
What the fuck?
These are all lines from the Snapcube dub.
Soon I will be 100% Shadow. Please support my Patreon and my new startup. Welcome to my house. As you can see, I've knocked over many chairs because I get so tilted at the towers.
I don't think it's picking up, but I'm dying of laughter over here. God damn it! The please support my Patreon got me. That was just...
Because I can't trust anybody with my Phoenix except for myself. The other fucked up it's great. I know all the right places. And I have 10 million of them to go around.
I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared for any of this.
Can we even clip this with the language?
Yes, we can.
Oh my god! I feel like this whole battle needs to be clipped.
Sadly, clips only last a minute, but I can... That's what editing and post is for. Here, get this. Get this as a separate segment.
Silly, feeble-minded little gay. I'm so far beyond Fortnite. You guys suck. Really, I can't believe I used to date you.
I got nothing.
That whole thing was art. That was art.
Oh my god! Whoever modded this, whoever made this mod, they are not paying you enough, my guy. Fight for that raise. Oh.
Don't be frightened.
The promised time is nigh upon us, Shadow. Soon.
I'm sorry for the lack of commentary. Just that fight broke my brain.
I genuinely am sitting here needing time to recover. I can't.
I think after this cutscene, we're gonna have to call.
Trust with my penis.
I think after this cutscene, I'm gonna have to call it a night because I. How do I recover from that without? I don't know.
I'm the only one I trust with my penis.
Have you ever fucked a clone? It's great. They know all the right places.
What do you think he means?
I'm going to fuck myself because I'm the only one I trust with my penis. I can't.
And use the time in white space.
This is the second fucking stream in a row where you have destroyed my brain based off of a batshit crazy voice line.
Maria?
It breaks my heart to see you so full of anger. This isn't who you are. Do you know why I named you Shadow? Because without light, there's only darkness. But a shadow.
Why the fuck is my shadow a hedgehog?
Do you understand? I don't want you to be driven by darkness. I want you to be happy. Stand in the light.
He looks pretty happy to me.
In your heart.
Gotta go!
Oh, God.
It's just... There's no coming back from this.
Yeah, at the very least, I need to show the movie DLC again for the people that missed it, which was everyone. Because I do have one mod installed for that, and I think it would be a good way to end the night, considering the DLC is not very long.
Okay.
It's probably not gonna top, you know, the Memphis, Tennessee boss fight, but it'll still be good. Hopefully. Assuming it doesn't crash like it likes to do. I swear to God, if the game crashes like Drake of the 99 Dragons did last night just because it's done with our shit.
Even Drake of the 99 Dragons didn't want to be played. That was funny. I forgot about
and
that.
then for the people that, well, since obviously this didn't come through on stream because I had ended the stream, as soon as I clicked the end stream button, OBS crashed.
Yeah, OBS basically said, you ain't playing this shit again.
All right, time to see what I done to Movie Shadow. Let's see what I've done to Keanu Reeves.
I swear to God. I swear to God. I don't know how much more I could take. Arikado.
Okay, it didn't crash. That's a good thing.
Yeah, Arikado, I swear to God. I can think of a couple things you did.
It's based on a very specific piece of artwork from the Archie comics.
Is that me?
Wait for it. He is the angriest hedgehog who ever lived.
I feel as if I've left my own dimension.
Oh, he just made his face all mad.
Yeah, it's based on a specific panel where Shadow was just pissed off at Marine the raccoon, and his face was drawn like that. It's become a reaction image in the Sonic community for, like, when you're pissed off, you post that Shadow face.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen that before. I think I've sent you that before in something.
On my old pre-Arikado channel, I had an emote drawn by an artist friend of a friend of mine, that was that face, but with Mephiles the Dark. So, you know, crystal form Mephiles the Dark, so he doesn't have a mouth. Not that Mephiles ever has a mouth.
No, but we know he has a penis.
Yeah, we know he has a penis.
And
I mean,
he only
technically he's a
trusts himself with
shapeshifter,
it.
so he can have whatever he wants. You know, since you're here as a regular co-commentator on my streams now, I'm probably going to need to restart Sonic 06 from the beginning again, just so you can experience that from the beginning instead of tuning in, like, towards the end of it.
Man, I would be honored.
Especially, that would be without mods, because I don't have the capability to mod that game.
Well, I'm hoping that, you know, I do the right thing this year and get a different job with better hours so I can actually be a freaking on these streams more.
At the very least,
Friday
I could
and
make it a
Saturday.
weekend. I could make it a weekend thing until then.
Yeah. We still need to finish Travis Strikes Back.
Yeah, we need to do Travis Strikes Again sometime.
Yeah, that one.
When me, you, and JKR are all available.
And I promise to be more available to do that with the whole cat thing, since I accidentally ran off when the cat showed up.
I mean, it was a cat emergency. Or are you talking about Gene?
Yeah, when Gene showed up.
I mean, you're going to love
snack or something.
You're going to love Gene in once we get to No More Heroes 3. You're going to love how she's portrayed there, given that it's the first time in the series that she's had a proper voice actor.
Cool.
Like, without going into spoilers for how Gene sounds And I would recommend you not look up footage of Jean from No More Heroes 3 so your reaction can be genuine.
Okie dokie.
Jean does not sound how anyone anticipated she would sound. And even Travis is like, have you always sounded like that? And her answer is, are you tweaking? This is how I've always sounded.
Nice. I was gonna say, we also need more, more advice from the old man.
Yes. More advice on how you should never eat at chain restaurants.
I try to incorporate that into, like, anytime I do an old man voice in my streams, but I genuinely forget half the lines he even spoke.
I mean, he says a lot of just bullshit.
Just the batshit crazy bullshit.
Oh.
Also,
by the way, you'll be happy to hear one of the most extensive model swap and general like character overhaul mods that's come out recently for Shadow Generations, if you ever get it on PC, is Blaze the Cat.
Meow?
Not only replacing Shadow's model with her, but also replacing his in-game voice lines with stuff that she said.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say, I just realized our avatars technically match.
Yeah, they do.
We're both holding controllers.
Yep. That was weird. Now let me find Kakarot!
Not the weirdest thing I've ever been in, but by God, I'll take it. Now where's Kakarot?
This is so non-canon it hurts.
That's probably the first time I've ever attempted a Vegeta voice.
I mean, the fun thing about Vegeta voices is that there's a variety of them that you can attempt based on all the different voice actors he's had.
I was going for the Christopher Sabat personally.
Yeah, the Chris Sabat one.
I know the most.
He's the one I know the most, but I often, like, whenever I try to do Chris Sabat, I end up slipping into Lonnie from Team 4-Star. Who Chris Sabat has said, like, if I am ever to, for whatever reason, no longer play Vegeta, I want Nick Landis / Lonnie Pator from Team 4-Star to take over the role.
Nice. I mean, I've had Alex Brightman say something similar to me.
Nice.
Yeah,
that must have made you feel amazing.
Oh yeah, it did. When I did my Beetlejuice impersonation for him, he said, "Dude, you should like totally play him on stage."
Nice.
Yeah.
But
Lord Megatron can attest. He was standing right there when it happened.
A test? No one said anything about tests. Oh god, I didn't study.
If it makes you feel any better, I haven't studied in years! That was Serpentious, not Beetlejuice. Fuck.
JKR says I don't recall that for it.
Well, you don't recall a lot of things that happen in front of you. That's fair.
You don't want to set him off for it. He's a ticking time bomb, I tells ya. And with that shitty joke out of the way, I'm gonna end it here tonight.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Because I don't know how.
Still hurt.
Yeah, that Memphis, Tennessee fight just gave me a case of brain rot that I need to recover from.
I feel like we all need to recover from it. JKR is helping.
Let's see who we're gonna raid tonight.
Raid these nuts.
We are going to raid Orange is Borange, who is doing another Luigi's Mansion speed run. Which she
saying I can't read it.
I'll be home tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, Orange is Borange is a pro at speedrunning Luigi's Mansion in particular. So
nice.
So I hope you enjoy seeing her do another speedrun of it. She's doing a no out of bounds any percent speedrun.
Nice.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Furret for co-commentating with me tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow night with the original Yakuza. And until then, unpleasant dreams.
And please allow us to fuck off.